Hello friends, it is time. If you've been around here at all, you've heard me talk about this book, The Artist's Way. You know how much I love it. It's time, I believe, to go through it again. So I'm going to take you along with me. Now my plan here is to, in addition to the regular videos I'm going to create this quarter, I'm also going to create an extra video each week documenting the particular week of, like a vlog of each week of The Artist's Way. So The Artist's Way, if you're not familiar with it, I can link to other videos I've done about it. But I have my little washi tape tabs here to show you there are 12 different weeks. I'm going to kind of document, not in too much detail because, you know, like no spoilers. If you're going to go through it yourself, you don't need me to like read the book aloud to you. It's a great experience. But I will record some footage as I'm going through each week and share at the end some little takeaways. So I have myself set up with, of course, this book is important. I also have this is a little ambitious. This is the notebook I'm going to use for morning pages. So these pages are big. So I'm trusting that that's going to be a great experience. I'm going to get a lot of good morning page-ness out of that. And then I also have this very cute little notebook here, which my niece gave me for my birthday, unlined. So I'm going to use this there's some extra prompts. So each week in here, there are additional prompts of things that like questions to answer, things to explore. I'll be documenting those in here. So this will be the place that I have my plan to share with you in the reflection at the end of the week is like at least like one quote that really landed with me from here and some sort of takeaway that I have from the experience. I'll also be doing artist dates. So the most important parts of The Artist's Way, I would say, are doing daily morning pages and also your weekly artist date. I'll be getting a little creative with that because in general, I will be doing my artist dates at home. Like there's just, I don't know, I want to explore the options that I have like pretty much here in my own little familiar workspace. I have lots of creative things that I would like to do that I have not been doing, and I think the artist date would be a great way to do that. So yes, that is the plan. This is the beginning. I'm recording this to tell you we are about to commence, and I will check in here with you again in a week, let you know how it goes. Also, I should say before I sign off, of course, if you are interested in joining along, I highly recommend it. I find this experience of going through this book I found it really, I think it's why I am where I am right now in terms of all the books I've written. I don't think I would have written even one fiction book if I hadn't gone through this journey. So I don't know if there's something untapped creatively inside you, and you probably don't even know it if there is. I can definitely recommend this book. So I will link this in the comments as well if you want to get one and join along with me. These videos will be here. I'll make a playlist. So whether you want to join along in real time or save the playlist to come back to after your copy comes in the mail, please feel free to join. And I'll see you in a week. We are back at the end of the week, end of week one. Got our trusty copy of The Artist's Way, got our trusty little notebook with insights, and let's look at it. Let's see what takeaways we have. So week one, the highlighter out of there. Week one, as I said, again, it was the recovering a sense of safety. Definitely felt this theme. I'm going to call this video, It Is Safe for Me to Be Seen. That's something that was coming up a lot for me, especially in the first couple of days of doing the morning pages. And there's some really great just really great stuff in here. I highlighted a lot of things. This is my first time reading this book and actually using a highlighter to mark the things that were really resonating with me. So there's just beautiful stuff in here. There's a section about protecting the artist child within, and I know people have talked about, like, this book does have a lot of spiritual language. She talks about the creative force. She talks about God. She says if you aren't comfortable with the word God, you can use that as an abbreviation for good, orderly direction. I would say even if you are skeptical, if you're not a particularly spiritual person, it can still be such a great experience to go through this book with just a sense of openness, and even if you have some like religious trauma, like, hey, some of us do, you still can get a lot out of this book. I mean, I don't know. I recommend it. I find it quite a beautiful journey. But in the section about protecting the artist child within, she talks about, I highlighted some things here. Judging your early artistic efforts is artist abuse. Don't just, as soon as you do something, go like, oh, this is terrible. Because, is that what you would say to a little child? Because we're looking at the inner artist as a child. And she talks about, in recovering from our creative blocks, it is necessary to go gently and slowly. What we are after here is the healing of old wounds, not the creation of new ones. Certainly, I think many of us have childhood experiences of someone judging our work, whether it's an art teacher judging something we made in class and kind of making it clear that, like, well, you're not one of the artistic kids, or creative writing that was like, it's not that good. I had a judge at a music competition when I played oboe who kind of ripped me and my duet partner apart, and I stopped playing oboe that very same day. Like, I never brought my oboe back to school after that. I brought the flute that I had for marching band, and I never even tried to play the oboe again. So that's just an example. I have since revisited that, and I even, like, as an adult was like, maybe I should try playing the oboe again. And I bought one on eBay and felt like I was going to make my head explode trying to just get a sound out of it, like trying to force air into that double reed, and gave up on it. I was like, this isn't really the healing journey I need to go on. The point of that just is that when we have, like, sensitive beings, and I was still, an adolescent at that time, we can really shut them down. So especially if people have done that to us, we don't want to do that to ourselves, as we're sort of reparenting the child, the inner artist child. I love this quote as well in that same section. Remember that in order to recover as an artist, you must be willing to be a bad artist. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. By being willing to be a bad artist, you have a chance to be an artist, and perhaps over time, a very good one. I love that about being a beginner. Just such a beautiful thing. So this section had a lot to do with affirmations and, like, recognizing the negative blurts that come up, the things that are subconscious, our self-censor, our inner critic throws at us. That's sort of like, you're not very good. And then flipping those around into affirmations. And I did find that really helpful, really powerful. I enjoyed working with that in this week. It is something that I have worked on before, so I notice at this point in my life, I think it's both about my age and also about probably going through a journey like this and other things multiple times at this point, is that I've really tried to tackle that negative self-talk piece, because I just really got sick of it, and it was like, I can't talk to myself in a way that I wouldn't tolerate another person talking to me. I just don't want to do that. So that's helpful, but the reminder to revisit those affirmations is really good. It's a really wonderful thing. So I'm in the exercises section here. Yeah, and let's reflect on the rest of the week. So let's see, in terms of morning pages, well, I'm obviously not going to share any of those with you because that is against the rules. She's like, don't share what you write in your morning pages with anyone, and, like, don't even really look back at it yourself. Just stick them in an envelope and stick them away, which I do think is great. I will say, though, especially the first couple of days, I was really, like, digging into some subconscious stuff, some limiting beliefs, scarcity mindset, really great things. I was really enjoying seeing what was coming through on the page. And then as the week went on, those morning pages often turned into me sort of just going through plans of things that I want to do, and, like, what I'm going to do in my writing business today in terms of marketing, and it's like trying to, work my way through different decisions. And there was a lot more, like, minutia in those days. And again, I've done the morning pages enough. If I like add up all the time that I've done them, I don't know how, it's at least a year, I would say. So I've done them enough to know that there's no wrong way to do them, whether I'm having profound thoughts or I'm just saying like, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but yeah, I might try this. It's all fine. And that's part of the point. And did I highlight anything about that? Because she talks about, oh, that was in the introduction. Let's go back to that because that was such a good explanation in the introduction. Here we go. In talking about the morning pages, she talks a lot about the censor, the inner critic. By spilling out of bed and straight onto the page every morning, you learn to evade the censor because there's no wrong way to write the morning pages. The censor's opinion doesn't count. So that's the thing. Like if there's a part of your brain, and she would say it's the left brain, that's saying, you know, this isn't good, this isn't worth writing, but you're still writing it anyway. And one morning I had like half a page to fill and I was like, oh, I really have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, but I have to finish this beforehand because the point is just to get it done. And that was such nonsense and so illegible and just so, but the point is just to get through it, to get to the other side. And I really enjoy the practice of doing morning pages. And I tend to lapse out of it at some point because I'm like, okay, yeah, the medicine is working. I think I'll stop taking it. Like that's how my brain goes, where I'm like, this is really great. I really am feeling quite grounded, quite centered. I'm not having these like anxious feelings in my stomach. I think I'm going to stop doing this practice that's really helping ground and center me. Yeah, and helping manage my anxiety. So again, this is a great reminder to come back to the tools that are helping. And yes, that's all wonderful. So morning pages have been great. Artist date for this week, what did I do? Well, in general, in the evenings, I have been watching a show on Netflix, but I started knitting a sweater. And so that takes like all of my attention. So I'm mostly focusing on the sweater and I'm kind of listening to the show. And that's not normally what I do. Normally I watch something that I really want to watch. But I don't know, I'm excited about the sweater. So I saw that there was a new K-drama I wanted to watch. I believe it's called When the Stars Gossip. And I've always seen like when a K-drama comes and it hasn't put all the episodes on Netflix yet and they're going to be like releasing in real time. And it was brand new and it was going to do that. And so I was like, one evening, I'm going to not watch my mindless show and knit. I'm just going to totally focus on watching this Korean show. Because the thing about watching a Korean drama is if your Korean's not that good, and mine is not, despite the fact that I lived in Korea for a year, I can't just listen to it, I have to read the subtitles. So it was really nice to just like put everything aside and focus on that. The colors, there was just some beautiful cinematography in it. It's like some beautiful color grading and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this. Yeah, that was great. That was nice. So that's what I did in that context. Took some little notes in here as well. What were these? These were affirmations because I went through and wrote some of the affirmations that were in the text and then wrote the blurts that came up, the things that my subconscious was like, oh, really? Do you really believe that? What about this? And then flipped those around into affirmations of their own, which was wonderful. And then a little bit of the exercises. Again, this is my third time going through the book, so I've done most of the exercises. So I was a little gentle with like, well, which ones really call out to me? Which ones do I maybe have a different answer than I had the previous time that I read this? I strongly believe that the most helpful tools of this journey, like I feel like I could probably not even read the book and just do the morning pages and the artist date. And I'd be like, yep, that was a great 12 weeks. I transformed myself. But I want to commit to the book as well, and especially to getting into the theme of each week. So that's something I just kind of want to pay more attention to the theme itself. So this week's theme being recovering a sense of safety, I definitely felt that it really just aligned with the experience of what I was going through. So yeah, today I'm starting week 2. So I have started to read the week 2 chapter, and I will be coming to you in another video in a week to share about that, to share how that experience has gone. So I'll see you in that one. I will make sure to link to the playlist for this whole experience so that you can follow along with the whole thing. And if you haven't gotten yourself into the book yet, that will be linked as well because I couldn't recommend it more highly. See you next time.